Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Coffee and Sports in the Morning. I'm your host for the day, Mr. William D. Morgan. I got two gentlemen here who I'm very honored to share the stage with. First, let me bring in my man. He's the NFL genius, my man, Gene. Gene, what's up, man?
I'm still getting over. Look, 40 years old. You don't belong up at 2 a.m. You don't. You don't. And Sunday night, it's like the second day of recovery. I'm still not back.
Oh, man.
I'm tired, bro.
You'll be all right, big dog. You'll be all right.
I'll wake up.
There you go. Let me also bring in this next gentleman who has forgotten more about the NBA than I will ever know. My man, Mo Better. Mo, what's going on? How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's good, Will? Gene, what's going on, chat?
All right. Let's go ahead. Everybody here is a wrestling guy, wrestling person. I wanted to talk about that amazing Monday Night Raw from last night. Oh my goodness, that thing was amazing last night. We had a lot of returns. We had Dolph Ziggler come back. We saw AJ Lee in the building do her thing. We got Brock. We got Roman. Gene, I'm gonna go to you. What are your thoughts last night on Monday Night Raw, my friend?
It was definitely. I mean, they do it. They always do it big for MSG. There's no doubt about that. It was definitely a very entertaining Raw. It was one where you had John Cena open. You could see the old school messaging with Rey Mysterio and Sheamus to share the ring with them. Overall, and they ended with Roman. Brock Lesnar and Roman. I knew Brock was the fifth member of the division, but something told me when Brock came out, you were going to get Roman last night. And Men's War Games is now set up where you have both champions on the same side. I always feel like there should be a heel champion. And then I guess the biggest problem is the Vision team is so OP. They're so overpowered. Like, if they lose, the only person that can really take the pin is Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Whereas the men's team, you have the Usos. You're kind of in trouble there.
Yeah. Mo, what's your thoughts on Monday Night Raw last night, my friend?
It was one of the more entertaining shows of the year. And I kind of echo Gene's sentiment. I knew Brock Lesnar was the fifth guy. I mean, I knew it way before. You knew they brought him back for a reason. And I do think that when you look at War Games, when you look at the Vision squad, yeah, the only one that the obvious guy that could take a pin is Logan Paul. But I would throw in another guy. Bronson Reed can take a pin. He's not that big. He's not that big a star. He can take a pin. Look, the way it's going to play out, if I had to bet money on it, the Vision team's going to win, right? The heels are going to win. They have more tools in their bag, and it makes more for a compelling storyline for them to win. The real question I would have is there someone on the other side who might turn heel during the match?
Good question. Real quick, let me see. Key says that the Women's War Games is going to be better. I agree with that. Wholeheartedly. That's going to be a little bit better. I do agree. Drama's already being set up. Guys, do you think we're gonna get either Alexa or Charlotte turning heel on one another?
No. Too early. It's too early. I think you're gonna get Alexa Charlotte at WrestleMania, and I think that might happen through Royal Rumble or around that area. But no.
Definitely would love to see that happen.
Somewhat, brother. Maybe not on this show as much fantasy football, but we do as a whole. Give us a follow.
Oh yeah. Alexa's going to turn. I won't be shocked by that.
She might, but I'm with Gene. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Give us some time. They're building up this storyline because right now the WWE universe, they're very invested in Charlotte and Alexa, and the powers that be know that. So I don't think they're breaking them up anytime soon.
Do you think it was a good move to take the tag titles off from them now?
No, it's too early, in my opinion.
I thought it was too early too.
Facts, but you kind of see where this is going, right? I'm predicting at some point. I don't know how long a run they're going to have, but Lash Legend and Nia Jax are going to win the belts. they're going to win the belts. I don't think they're going to hold it for long, but they're going to win the belts.
Yeah.
I love Lash being on the main roster. Hate the name, love the wrestler.
God, I hate that name. It's a rough name.
Would you say Mo sound like a porn star?
It does. It does. Just for the record, I've heard rumors of this porn stuff. I've never watched it.
Oh my goodness gracious, bro! Don't put you to a lie detector test on that one now.
I'm not taking that test.
Who's the fifth? Will, who's going to be the fifth member for both teams? It looks like they're setting it up to be Bailey and AJ Lee. Do you think that's like what we're looking at?
I think so. Bailey ain't doing
not
nothing.
Not Bailey.
No.
AJ Lee and it'll be AJ Lee and Becky.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yes,
that makes sense.
That I see. That's the two, Becky and AJ Lee.
But Bailey can make sense too because she ain't doing nothing.
I can only speak for me. I'm tired of Bailey.
What? I've been tired of Bailey for 2 years.
Wow.
I think Bailey's terrible.
Yeah, she can join Joe Henry on TNA.
Like that. Oh man. But yeah, Gene, that's all I got, brother.
You ain't gonna talk about Becky Lynch losing the IC title last night?
Well, Maxine Dupree.
That was a great moment for New York.
Oh,
it was.
You kind of saw it coming though. But I will give her props because it's a good story. Former Rams cheerleader becomes Women's Intercontinental Champion. So it's a good story. But I'm
not gonna lie to you. I think the coolest part of AJ Lee is her skip to the ring.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. When she's skipping to the ring, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
She's got that tormented like mindset behind her.
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
She's got that. She's a little demented, and it works for me for some reason.
Works for a while.
Oh yeah. Love AJ.
And then I understand you're not gonna have a lot of not Lyra, La Primera, the women's WWE champion,
Valkyria.
No. You're talking about Vakir.
Vakir.
Yeah, Stephanie Vakir.
I know you're not going to have her talk too much, but like, I don't know. You got to do a little bit better job of selling the Nikki Bella fight. I just felt like, she's just going to attack her twice and then get on the mic and be like, I didn't come here to be no second fiddle to you. No one asked you to. Like, no one asked you to get involved in any matches. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a really bad sell to me. And I hate beefs without like any build up or any real storyline.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
No, please put that out there because
beefs without substance. Yeah. For real.
You have to be able to sell the fans on a storyline that makes sense that you can believe. I don't know anybody that believes that Nikki Bella can beat the champ, right? And what has Nikki Bella done to get a title shot? Who she beat?
No one.
Nobody.
Right.
Nobody.
You can look, but you can't touch.
They're trying to. They're trying to. They throwing her a bone, man. Like, cause I wasn't gonna say this, but bump it. She got child support. She gotta be here. Only reason why she's back.
The celebrities that were there last night too. Yeah. I love the little thing that they had with the New York Giants.
Well, that was funny. Cool. That was funny.
Sam Scatterboo.
Yeah.
Cooper DeJean and Big Dom were out there. They had a lot of people there. By the way, I want to talk about Big Dom. It's a perfect transition. I find it super interesting. I don't know any other team in the NFL that has a Big Dom. I think it's the most Philly shit of all time. And I kind of wanted to get your opinion on it as a whole. Big Dom, watch this. Ready? Will, do you know who Big Dom is?
Nope.
No, you know who Big Dom is?
I thought he was security for the Eagles, but I could be wrong.
So this is his titles: senior advisor to the general manager, the chief security officer, head of game day coaching operations.
Oh shoot, my girl Jury in the chat. What's up, Jury?
Big Dom is the guy. And I have multiple people ask me about Big Dom. They're like, what is his role? Is he a coordinator? No, he's just a guy. And he is a guy that is the most interesting man in the world. He never wants to be on camera. He never wants to talk to the media. He'll never talk to the media. He is just a guy that's the guy. Like when someone comes to town in Philadelphia, Big Dom picks him up in the Big Dom mobile, drives him to Angelo's, gets him a cheesesteak,
Right.
security on the sidelines. Like Big Dom is just different. He was at the game last night. Like Cooper DeJean went to New York for the game. And I can imagine the Eagles being like, yo, Big Dom, you better go with him. Make sure nothing happens. Make sure he's good. He's in New York. Nobody does anything stupid. But he's different. And I kind of want to give Big Dom his love this morning.
And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But that's all I got, man.
Mo, what do you think about Big Dom?
He's kind of become like this iconic figure. He reminds me of a guy from back in the day. He's kind of the modern day Charlie Mack. I don't know if you remember Charlie Mack, but Charlie Mack was kind of like that guy through the 80s and 90s. Yeah, Charlie Mack was that guy.
I remember that. Yep.
What if he's like the modern day Tony Soprano?
Even better. Even better. Even better.
That's better.
Get somebody whacked. I feel like you don't want to mess with Big Dom. He just seems like the guy that I got somebody to handle that for me.
We're gonna take care of this for you. We're gonna take care of this for you.
We did have a Monday Night Football game that happened last night. The Dallas Cowboys, grieving the loss of Marshawn Nealand, went out there and put on a show. 4 touchdowns from Dak Prescott. One of them to George Pickens, one of them to CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, and then Ryan Flowerny. I don't know who that is. But they beat the Raiders, who are now 2-8. I have changed my opinion. Jory, you might want to hear this.
Uh-oh.
I think the Raiders are the worst team in football. I truly believe that. I know the Titans are bad, but the Titans played good football games and lost by 3 or lost by, like, they almost beat the Chargers. They almost beat the Texans. Every week, I feel like the Raiders are getting the shit kicked out of them. Like, it's not even fun to watch anymore. They're not entertaining. And I understand, before y'all beat me up, I understand that Raiders beat the Titans. I get that. But since then, I feel like they got beat 31-0 by the Chiefs. They lost a game to the Jaguars. They scored 7 points versus the Broncos, and they got blown out last night by the Cowboys. I think the Raiders are the worst team in football. That shit was so embarrassing. Watching that game last night, it just wasn't competitive. They made Dallas' defense look like they were good.
4 sacks on Geno alone.
Because their offensive line stinks.
Terrible.
The Raiders' offensive line is awful. Most
terrible.
You watch the football game at all?
And
I watched the first half, and that was enough for me. The game was over early. I didn't even bother with the second half. I switched it to some NBA because that was not competitive. Like, the Raiders defense as a whole missed so many tackles. Like, I've never seen such poor tackling. Like, yeah, and like when Gene says they're a bad team, I do think you have to factor in how hard the team is willing to play, whether they're good or not. They look like they quit. And I think when you have that kind of energy on your team, that says a lot about your franchise as a whole.
Am I looking at the stats right? I see Ashton Jeanty rushing, 6 attempts, 7 yards? Did I look at that right?
The stats perfectly right. They had 8 rushing attempts from running backs last night for a total of 13 yards. Versus the Cowboys. I'm not trying to be that guy, but do you need me to go back and show you what other people done against the Cowboys defense this year?
Yeah.
The Cowboys have no edge whatsoever. Like, I understand Quinnen Williams is going to bring a little bit more to the interior for that Cowboys team, but they have no edge whatsoever. They got you. They're trotting Jadeveon Clowney out as their edge rusher.
That ain't gonna work. Washed up.
It's crazy to me. I thought like they were that game was not entertaining at all. Nope. It was, and I don't know what happened in Dallas, but they sat George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb for the first drive of the game. They just sat them. They did something to practice. I don't know, but It was a clear indicator they were benched for the first drive.
Javonte Williams had a hell of a game, and shout out to him because I had wrote him off going into the season, but shout out to him. He's been playing well. Shout out to him and him doing this thing in that running game. Like I said, I thought he was washed, but he's proven me wrong.
Michael Penix expected to miss the rest of the season with an ACL issue. Does this spell the end of Raheem Morris as head
Yep.
coach of the Atlanta
Yeah.
Falcons?
Yep.
Yes.
I hate to say that being a brother, but yeah,
You deserve it.
he deserved it.
They hired the wrong one though. I hate it. I hate saying it that way, but Brian Flores should have got that job.
Agreed.
Listen, I think I'm the biggest Brian Flores fan. Like I think it's his family and then me. But yeah, he said they missed curfew. I'm not
Makes
shocked.
sense.
I'm not shocked. The two diva receivers missed curfew.
Oh yeah.
But,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I just think the Atlanta Falcons have been awful this year, and they have not progressed in the right direction. Now you got Kirk Cousins coming back. I think they're 3-7. Yeah, they're 3-7. The Carolina Panthers actually only half game back of first place. The Falcons have lost 5 straight games. And listen, with most bad teams, the roads tend to get easier. You know, you got the Saints, the Jets as your next 2 games. They're both on the road. Both those teams are awful. Do you think Kirk Cousins can like turn back the clock and save Raheem Morris's job at least for a couple more weeks?
I think
We've been inspired.
it's an opportunity for Kirk Cousins to audition and show that he can still play. I don't know if he's trying to save Raheem Morris, but maybe Kirk's trying to extend his own career.
You got Drake London out for this week at least. But they should be able to win against the Saints in that terrible secondary. They should be able to win. So Raheem might get a couple of weeks reprieve.
And also this is just something that I want to share. I think this is actually crazy. You want to talk about people that had a bad day on Sunday? I'm gonna tell you somebody had a bad day on Sunday. Shedeur Sanders had a bad day on Sunday. And did y'all read about this? After the game, Shedeur Sanders went home to find out that his home was broken into.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So not only does he go 4 for 16 with a quarterback rating of 2, and threw a terrible interception, he came home and his house got broken into. It's a bad day for Shedeur Sanders.
Do you think they're because from what I understand, I listened to the coach after the game. Even though Gabriel's on concussion protocol, he's already said he's going to play this week.
I mean, we'll see. Concussion protocol normally takes a little bit more than a week to go through. There's 5 stages of it, so
yeah,
we'll see how that plays out for them. I don't remember many quarterbacks that have gotten concussion that have came back the next week, but we will see. I mean, outside Cam Scatterbo, who gets a concussion every week and comes back next week, I don't remember many people that do.
Right.
I think Sanders is going to get the start. And look, if nothing else, he can't play worse.
Right. Exactly.
Yes, what if Mac Jones goes to Atlanta? I don't know. I think Atlanta needs to. I guess they can get a stopgap quarterback. I don't think Michael Penix is it. It's funny. The 3 quarterbacks I didn't think were it out of that draft class were Michael Penix, JJ McCarthy, and Drake May. Now, obviously, I've been wrong about Drake May, but the other two
though. You're right on the other 2 though.
Yeah, I mean Jaden and Caleb, I knew were it. Caleb hasn't been it. If I could just swap Caleb and Drake May, I think I'm all right.
Okay. Oh yeah.
See, I guess they have potentially just need a quarterback, honestly, but they had Kirk, they had Penix. Like, who do they need? I think it's more an offensive coordinator than a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think sending Mac Jones there makes a difference. Mac Jones is thriving, but he's thriving because he's playing with the right offensive coordinator and right head coach. You send him to Atlanta, and he's not going to look very good.
Right. I agree.
Let's talk about returns. Gentlemen. Superstar, potential Hall of Famer, All NBA player returned last night for a team that's above 500. PG-13 was back on the court last night.
Pandemic P, boy.
I'm obviously kidding. I'm being a
Pandemic P. Podcast Keith?
I don't think anything I said was incorrect. It's just he's a long ways away from where that was.
Oh,
He
yeah.
played what did he play? 21 minutes last night. He had 9 points. He was 2 of 9 shooting. I don't know. The 76ers squeaked out a win versus the hapless LA Clippers. And they tried losing the game. I don't know if anybody watched the end of that game, but they tried to lose that game. He's definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame. Stop it, Gatrell. Everybody gets in the Hall of Fame in the NBA.
Everybody get in.
No, but I mean, Paul George, if you really look at his career, there's guys with lesser resumes that are in Hall of Fame. He's walking into the Hall of Fame. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everybody gets in the Hall of Fame in the NBA.
Yep. Everybody.
But the Sixers won 110-108. Tyrese Maxey took an inbounds pass up 110-108. Should have been an immediate foul. He lost the ball. The Clippers recovered the ball. James Harden had 2 basic open looks for the win, missed both of them. The 76ers hold on to beat the Clippers 110-108. The 76ers, by this time next week, should have their entire starting lineup back. I just don't believe in it. I think they're better without them. Mo, your thoughts on the return of Pandemic P?
Get him, Mo. Get him.
No, I just think it has little impact. The Sixers don't lack for wing talent. We already talked about this. Paul George, if he can give him anything, is a luxury, but he's not a necessity.
No.
And he doesn't, his skill set, I'm talking about the current version of Paul George, it doesn't go with what Maxey and Edgecombe do. It's not a good fit. And you've already got Grimes coming off the. I just don't know the need for Paul George. I feel like get him healthy, get him in shape as best you can, and maybe there's a trade out there to be had. And people go, well, you won't get back a lot. I don't need a lot back. I just need to get rid of him.
I'm with you. I don't need a lot back. I just need to get rid of
Get
him.
a decent rotation player for him.
Well, I think we should send him up to Chicago for Josh Giddey.
Nah, we don't want him. No, we don't want him. No. They say everybody keep talking about AD coming to Chicago. Nah, you don't need him neither.
But do want to talk about a couple more NBA games that happened last night. But before I get into that, I got to talk about Victor Wembanyama. He's going to be out for a few weeks, which sucks, man. It sucks for number one, it sucks for my fantasy team. But number two, it sucks for the league. And that's not as important as my fantasy team. But Wemby, 21, injured calf strain. Is this another, so what scares me about Victor Wembanyama is it's already started. And he's a big man. And a lot of these big men are frail. And I just don't remember a lot of real big men having long NBA careers. And as good as Wembanyama is, this is another stint that he is going to be out for a while. Is this just a freak incident, or do you think that this is going to continue to happen, Mo? Could you see, I remember when Wemby came into the NBA and they said, if he, I'll never forget this line. If he's Kevin Durant, he's a bust. And I think that line's crazy because of the career Kevin Durant had and your trajectory of him as a top 10 player of all time. I don't think that's fair. What is your assessment of Victor Wembanyama? What do you think his ceiling could be? And then what do you obviously look at for the future of him, Mo?
I think the ceiling is he's a top 10 player of all time. I think that's what his ceiling is. But that line about Durant is insane. That's not even, to me, that's not a realistic, because you're acting like Kevin Durant isn't Kevin Durant.
Right.
If somebody goes like, man, we drafted you number 1 and you turned out to be Kevin Durant. What a disappointment. I don't see that. What I will say about Wemby is this. You started this off, Gene. When guys are 7'4", 7'5", for whatever reason in the history of the NBA, they don't have long careers, especially if they're primary players, not role players, but a primary player. They tend to have ankle and foot problems, and the injuries just pile up. That's just the nature of the beast. In Wemby's case, my concern is it might be worse because he plays on the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like a normal 7. He's not playing in the post. He's breaking people down off the dribble. He plays on the perimeter. I think those injuries are going to be more prevalent with him. So my fear for Victor Wembanyama is this. I don't want him to be one of those guys that we talk about and start the sentence off with "what if." And I feel like that's my main concern. Like, we're talking about him being the face of the league one day. Not if he's going to be one of those injury-prone guys. Not if he's going to be one of those guys that teases us, but his body is not on the same plan that the rest of his body or his mind is, because he misses 35, 40 games a season. So I hope that's not the case. But the history of this league says more times than not that is the case. It's one of the reasons why early in his career people were saying Porzingis is going to be he was vastly overrated, but they were saying Porzingis is a unicorn. What did we notice about Porzingis early in his career? Man couldn't stay healthy. That hasn't changed throughout his career, and it's made him more like an also-ran type player. Wembanyama's already levels better than Porzingis, but your health, your ability to stay healthy, look, that's so unpredictable. It's the reason why I said if he's healthy, the Spurs are in the playoffs. If he's injured, they might be back in the lottery.
But you gotta be careful for this type of injury too. It's a calf strain, so you gotta be careful with this injury. Gotta manage it, man. Gotta manage it.
Load management, like the great Michael Jordan said. This error is soft. I don't disagree with you, Topic. I think this error is soft. I think the thing with Victor is just interesting how everything breaks down with him. Is I think that he needs to build out his body. I wish his stature looked a lot more like Giannis than it does. Giannis, I feel like, is that tall, big guy, that freakish athlete that can last because the way his body is built. Whereas Victor, I feel like he's super frail. I don't know how to stop ligament damage from happening. I don't know how to stop like calf strains and things like that from happening. But I will say this. I hope to see a full career for Victor Wembanyama, because you essentially get robbed of a all-time player.
Let me just say this too. To be fair to Wemby, when Giannis came in the league, he had a body worse than Wemby's. Like, people forget when Giannis came in the league, he was that guy that dudes walked on the beach and kicked sand in his face. Like he was that dude. Giannis built his body up.
Yeah.
And the hope is that the Spurs strength and conditioning coaches can do the same for Wemby, because oftentimes people criticize him, even now early in his career, say that he's soft. And I'm like, you guys want him to overpower people. He doesn't have a body to overpower people.
Right.
He's tall. He's not big. He's tall. Don't confuse the two. And so I think we have to give him time to develop. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the game the other night, a couple of nights ago, when they played the Warriors. And it was an Emirates Cup game.
Yes, I've seen it.
And there's an inbounds play where they lob it to Wemby and he dunks on Draymond Green.
Yes, it was great. It was an awesome play.
It was an awesome play. But at the same time, that play, that moment, that's when the Spurs lost the game. That's when they lost the game. The Warriors won the mental matchup. They literally controlled the rest of that game. I think that a guy like Victor Wembanyama, you shouldn't put all that pressure on him to be everything, especially when you have the talent that they have around them. I don't have crazy expectations for the Spurs. I think the playoffs is realistic, but to think that they're ready to make a deep run when your core, I'm talking about your best four players, or 22 and under, that's not realistic.
So, differing opinions in the chat. He said he got to eat some Texas barbecue, but Danker said adding more weight to his frame will only increase his risk of injury and wear down his joints. I don't mean like adding weight as in fat.
Right.
I mean adding muscle and getting him lifting like Giannis.
Right.
Like that type of weight, like that type of muscular build. I'm sure that will wear his joints down a little bit, but I'm sure having that strength that he's going to have through that strength and condition. I also think that Wemby shouldn't be an 82-game year player. He should be a 60 to 65 guy, and build your team around that. I don't ever want to see him play in 82 games because I want to see him have a long NBA career.
By the way, I 100% support the notion that just because a guy is your best player, he has to play 82 games. The reality is the guys that played a lot of 82 games, their careers were cut short. It took a toll on them. In today's NBA, because of the up and down and the pace of the game, I don't want Wemby. I'm with you. I'm telling Wemby from the jump, your high is 65 games, right? Because I want him to play 15 plus years. I want us to be able to look at Wemby and look back and go, yeah, he did win 4 or 5 titles and he won 5 MVPs and he was everything that we thought he could be. I would disagree with the notion that he shouldn't put on weight. Giannis put on 30 pounds of muscle. 30 pounds of muscle. 30 pounds of muscle will not hurt Wemby.
So you think finesse player wants need to add 50 pounds of muscle? I think that he is a finesse player now because that's what he has to be, because he doesn't have the strength. I feel like that in the long term, he can be more than just a finesse player. And I think that the Spurs wouldn't have drafted, well, they obviously would have drafted him, but I don't think the Spurs would have, or anybody in the NBA would have thought he'd be a top 10 player of all time as just a finesse player. I think that what that becomes is he can beat you on the dribble, he can beat you in the lane, he can beat you down low, and he can also shoot. So you can't just leave him alone. That's the ideal for what Wemby can be in 2 years. In my
So are we taking, and I know it's a different context, don't get me wrong. I get it. Context means everything, different context. So we're saying he should take a Joel Embiid approach, no back-to-backs?
Yeah. I think that there could be some times where he plays back-to-backs. He's not out of shape like Embiid is. Right. Embiid, his entire career, never took care of his body. He started to do that recently, but the problem with Joel Embiid is if you ever heard Joel Embiid's diet, like the things he eats, there's a thing that was on the internet, Joel Embiid's Chick-fil-A order. I'm going to read it to you. This is so ridiculous. 4 chicken filet sandwiches, 4 orders of fries, and 4 cookie milkshakes. That's his lunch.
Milkshakes?
Yeah, he loves milkshakes.
As a pro athlete?
Milkshakes and Shirley Temples are the 2 things he enjoys the most.
As a pro athlete?
Oh,
that's ridiculous.
You want me to lie to you? That was his order.
That's ridiculous.
Don't tell nobody about
no pickles on anything. Hates pickles.
That's crazy.
Oh, well, that we can agree on. We don't pickles, but yeah.
I hate pickles too, bro.
That's crazy.
Well, I got to give you your moment.
No wonder he stays hurt.
I know. That's my point. Do you not get our pain in Philadelphia, Will?
I got you, man. I got you. The only thing
worse than being a Philadelphia fan is being a Chicago fan.
Oh, hell yeah. I second that motion.
Where's Damian?
I second that motion.
I think that I'll say this though, and this will kind of get into the fun discussion I wanted to get into today. We don't really have a ton on the agenda. I want to give Will his roses about the Chicago Bulls beating the Denver Nuggets last night. And that, Will, you can't even get your roses right. People calling you, got messages, alarms.
Doggone.
Turn the damn alarm off, Will.
Hold on.
Turn it off.
There you go. I got it. My bad, guys.
The Bulls beat the Denver Nuggets last night, 130-127.
Yes.
Tell us about the game last night, Will, from your perspective.
Well, I picked it up late. But from what I saw, Giddey had a good game, the most credit. Kevin Huerter showed up last night, former Atlanta Hawk. He showed out last night. Got to give him props on that. There was a point in the fourth quarter, nobody wanted to score. But I got to give it to Big Vu. He came through with the threes late and helped us get that win. And we improved.
We were missing the best guy on the team last night.
But we improved to 7-6.
We were missing the best guy on the team last night for the Chicago.
Zealous?
Are you paying attention?
Your bench scored like 61 points.
Yeah.
Ayo Desamu. He was incredible last night.
He played.
What do you mean he played?
No, I'm saying he played well. I was about to say he played well last night. But
the highest plus minus of the team. He had 21-5 off the bench. He was incredible last night.
But hey, listen. This is me giving Mo his flower because Mo was talking about Josh Giddey all last week to me, saying I was wrong to call him trash. He played well last night. I got to give him props on that. I still think we're gonna be the king of the playing game, but yeah, he played well last night and got the win 130 to 127. I thought they were gonna lose that game, by the way.
Yeah.
But they pulled it out. So shout
I
out
mean,
to the
everybody
boys.
in the whole country thought they were going to lose that game last night. Even when it was down the stretch, as soon as the
Yep.
Nuggets took the lead,
Yep.
me and Mo, we weren't messaging, but we were in sync together. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
thought that the Nuggets were going to pull away and end this game. I will say this, Mo. I looked at the Nuggets team as a whole, and I watched them play that game last night. And I don't know if it's just listen, I get it. They're 10-3. They're not to complain about.
Mhm.
But their bench feels terrible right now. And I understand Tim Hardaway, Bruce Brown, their names, Valanciunas, their names, but they played terrible last night.
Their bench really hasn't fit them all year long. Like
Nope.
they're winning with their core. They're winning with the guys that have already been there. Bruce Brown, he doesn't look like the Bruce Brown that left the Nuggets. He looks like a shell of what he was before.
Yep.
I don't know why you would the Valanciunas move was kind of odd. I get it, you wanted to have a good backup center for Joker, but if you know Valanciunas, you know that he's a very slow kind of walk it up. He doesn't play with pace. He doesn't fit them. And I just think that it's interesting. If you watched that game last night, a good example is they're 10-3, but Chicago saw something in that game that a lot of people don't look at. Like if you go to the box score, what was Joker's numbers? Because his numbers were insane. The box score, I think it was something like
36-18,
36-18, yeah.
Those are insane offensive numbers. Those are Wilt Chamberlain almost like numbers. And
It's
yet,
2K5.
if you watch the game, what the Bulls
He gets
found
2K5.
out that they could do, guys, is you can attack Denver every time down if you involve Joker in every action. If you involve him in every action, you can get whatever shot you want because he's that poor a defender. I'm just saying he's a great look. It's a weird thing because in this era, we talk a lot about two-way players and this and that and this and that. And yet, two of the top 5 players in the NBA are not two-way players. They're not even 1.5-way players. They're just great offensive players. I'm just being real.
Yeah.
So look, I'm not telling you that Joker's not a great player. He is, but against a better team that can attack him, that he is, as much as he is the solution, he's also part of the weakness. You can attack him at will because he's got poor feet.
I was concerned last night about trying to stop Jamal Murray, and I was right in my concern. He got down last night. But yeah, I agree with Mo. They're trying to win with their core. That bench has yet to come through for them.
Yeah, but the Nuggets last night, you could tell they wanted to win that game. They're playing Jokic 39 minutes, Jamal Murray 38 minutes. That's not sustainable.
Nope.
You can't do that for 82 games during the season. And you look at the plus minus, it tells the story. Aaron Gordon, Cam Johnson, and Nikola Jokic, plus 18, plus 13, plus 10. Tim Hardaway Jr., minus 21. Valanciunas, minus 15. Spencer Jones, minus 16. And Bruce Brown, minus 17. Do you want to hear something wild? Spencer Jones had a minus 16 and Valanciunas had a minus 15, and they played a combined 11 minutes.
That's crazy to me.
It's crazy, man.
I don't even know how it's played. You get on the court for 5 minutes and you lose by 15 points. That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They have not found a way to be effective when Joker goes to the bench. Like where they got killed at the last couple of seasons, every time Joker goes to sit down, they get destroyed. They just do. And they thought by making these off-season acquisitions, bringing in Cam Johnson, making that trade for Porter Jr. And by the way, Cam Johnson had his best game of the season last night. He'd been horrible up until last night. And I feel like even though they made some moves, they need to make better moves. Like their bench is amongst the worst benches in basketball. And if you got a talent like Joker to go with Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon, that trio, you got to have better supplemental parts around them.
Can I ask you a question, Mo? I don't necessarily think it's one of the worst benches in basketball. I think it's playing like the worst bench in basketball because the structure of the team isn't built around those bench players. I'll give you an example of what I mean, right? When Nikola Jokic is on the court, they play fast-paced. They all circle around him. He finds the open guy. If you continue trying to run the same offense with Tim Hardaway, Valanciunas, and there's Bruce Brown off the bench, it's not going to work. There's no one that you can run the offense through on that in that second unit. Those guys are supposed to be able to come in for you and be able to either run a different style. Like what the 76ers are so unique is they have two different styles of basketball. When Joel Embiid plays, they play a half-court set. When he doesn't play, they're running and gunning. It's drive and dish. It's screen and rolls. It's just a lot more of a different style of basketball where I don't think the Denver Nuggets adapt to a different style of basketball when Jokic is off the court.
No,
Now,
I don't disagree with that, but I'm just saying that goes back to what I was mentioning earlier. Why would you bring in a Valanciunas?
Yeah, I agree.
He doesn't play with pace. Why would you bring in a Bruce Brown? He's an athlete, but he can't shoot. He's not a shooter. He's not a shot creation guy. And Tim Hardaway, we all know this, has been a streaky player his entire career. Like you brought in guys that don't fit what you do. That doesn't make sense to me.
Most benches have an identity of their own that can go out there and be successful. And this bench has no identity of its own. None.
So I had a fun thing I wanted to do, and I'm going to do it in the next few morning shows, and we can just do 2 cities today, and then the next show we do is not 2 cities, but I always talk about how great of a sports city Philadelphia is. I talk about it all the time. I want to do a comp of some of the best sports cities and what they have to. And today I felt was a fun one to start. And I apologize. I did this intentionally because it was going to be me and you on the show today. But I want to compare the sports cities of Philadelphia and Chicago. And I want to ask Mo, Mo can be the deciding factor of what sports city would you rather have? Now, you can go back and look at championships like the Bulls in the 90s. They had 6. You could look at the fan base or how good they've been or how long they've been in purgatory or their ownership groups or their fans. So you can essentially pick whatever you want when this is your decision. But when you compare Philadelphia to Chicago, I'm only going to do this with teams that have the major 4 sports. And I'm going to let Will pick which Chicago team we're going to use in baseball. I would assume the Cubs.
It'd be the Cubs.
So, Mo, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to get the easy one out of the way. The Eagles or the Bears?
What's the Eagles? It's no question.
Yeah, I don't think that's a question at all. I think that I guess the second easiest one would be the Blackhawks or the Flyers.
Ooh.
Go with the Flyers.
I think the Blackhawks would be.
I'll go Blackhawks on that.
Yeah, I think the Blackhawks run away with that. And then I'll move over to baseball, and we'll talk about Phillies or the Cubs. Long-standing career. The Cubs and Phillies, I think they have the same amount of championships. I think the Phillies have 1 more championship. But at the end of the day, I think that they're very similar mindsets. I think the Cubs fans are the nicer version of the Phillies fans.
The nicer version.
I think that mean people in Chicago are White Sox fans. Like, I really believe that. Like, I almost look at Chicago when you split it down the middle is it's good versus evil. Like, the Cubs are the good team and the evil team is the White Sox. Am I wrong to think that, Will?
I don't think so, because the White Sox ain't got nothing to be happy about. What you got to be happy about?
I'm saying that when I say evil, I just mean like all the mean people in Chicago.
Yeah.
White Sox fans.
I agree. I see your point. I agree.
So, Mo, Phillies or Cubs?
I think they're very similar. It's close. It's close. I think I'm gonna lean towards the Cubs.
So we got 2-1 Chicago in this sports thing. Now there's 7 categories. We're not done after just picking the sports out. The 4th team to discuss is the 76ers, who have had 80s and 70s and 60s championships. You have the Bulls 90s championships. But the last 25 years, I don't know who I'd rather be a fan of. The Bulls have stunk. They had the Derrick Rose MVP year. The Sixers have stunk. They had the Allen Iverson MVP year. The last 25 years of basketball, I don't know. I think the first 50 years, it'll be very close to compete. the 76ers were way ahead of Chicago, and then Michael Jordan came down. Is Michael Jordan enough to make the Chicago Bulls a better basketball franchise than the 76ers? Dr. J, Wilt Chamberlain, Allen Iverson.
That's tough. That's tough.
Mo, you're on mute. Mo, you're on mute, brother.
That's tough.
I got to unmute Mo. I can't unmute him. There
You got him.
I think that it's interesting that you just said that, because outside of the Michael Jordan years, nobody talked about Chicago basketball.
Nope.
And really, other than the Derrick Rose years, nobody talked about Chicago basketball. So in the longer sense, going back to Wilt, going back to Doc, and then Moses, and then AI, you could say Philly has a longer lasting history, but the question was interesting because I think Michael Jordan's orbit is more powerful than all of them combined.
I agree.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Mo.
By himself, won more titles than all of those stars you mentioned.
Let me ask you this, Mo. So Jordan retired. If Pippen wins that title, you know they lost to the Knicks. If Pippen wins that, it helps the Bulls win that title. Would your answer be the same?
If Pippen, well, I mean that's a big if. First of all, he wasn't close to winning a title, so why am I having that conversation? He lost in the second. He lost in the second round. He didn't go. It's not like he lost in the conference finals.
That's true.
Lost in the second round.
That's
true. So I'm not going to have a. Let's not have a hypothetical how great Scottie Pippen is. He wasn't that great. He was a great sidekick. All right, that's what he was. But Pippen by himself was not winning a title.
I love that. I love when they drew the playoff for Tony Kukoc and Scottie.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't
Scottie quit on his team.
He won't go back in.
You're not going to throw the offensive playoff for Scottie Pippen. What the hell is the matter with you? If I want someone to hit a shot at the end of the game, and it's Tony Kukoc or Scottie Pippen, I want Tony Kukoc.
I want Tony Kukoc all the time.
And it changed the game. It changed the series. If they don't win that game, the Knicks go up 3-1. This series is over. It ended up being a 7-game series, but that game was key to that happening.
So I need your pick, though. You got the Bulls or the 76ers?
I would go with the Bulls.
All right, so it's 3-1 Chicago. I only have 3 more categories left. So I don't know how well I can do. The next one is the stadium and stadium atmosphere. So the Link, the Bank, Wells Fargo versus United Center versus Chicago as a whole, Wrigley, Soldier Field, stadiums and atmosphere. Do you like Chicago or Philadelphia?
That's really tough, man.
I like Chicago.
Here's the thing about what I remember about. You could say Chicago because Wrigley Field is familiar. Soldier feels familiar. What I remember though is Philly stadiums and there's infamy there, right? Like you always talk about all the things that happen outside of the game. I still remember that year they snowballed Santa. Who does that? Like that was crazy stuff. I think Chicago's name, the name comes across better. But I think Philly fans, when you talk about the atmosphere, I think the Philly fans enhance the atmosphere. Their attitude, the way they come across, I think they enhance the atmosphere. I think that's something that's missing in this conversation. So to me, I think it's a lot closer. I'm going Philly.
I'm glad he went Philly because he doesn't know the next topic is fans. But I'm glad. Listen, I need any help I can get right now. But looking, the Santa Claus thing, every time it comes up, I feel like I am responsible to explain that story. I know y'all heard it from me before, but they threw snowballs at Santa Claus, and it was well-deserved. I think they should do it again. Will, did you ever hear the story?
That's crazy.
Did I ever tell you the full story why they did it? Okay. I will tell you the full story. My dad was a big Eagles fan, and he was at that game. So it snowed that day. Obviously, that's how they got snowballs. The Eagles stunk, and it was like 68, 69, 70, right around there. They were terrible, right? So in order to get people to go to the game, they had this huge promotion that your kids could get a photo with Santa.
Right.
Santa Claus was the promotion for the game. Well, it snowed that day. It was a very unexpected snowstorm. And guess what? Santa canceled. Can't make the game.
Oh, snap.
Can't get there.
Oh, snap.
So they grabbed one of the drunk Eagles fans in the parking lot that was tailgating and said, hey, we'll give you tickets to the game for free. I need you to dress up as Santa and, like say hi to some kids. And then when the game starts, you just watch the game.
Right.
So they got the drunk guy out of the crowd and had him portray Santa Claus. He's drunk, pulling his beard down. Kids are walking up to him. They're crying because this guy's pulling his beard down and he's just a drunk, obnoxious jerk. Kids are walking up to him. They're crying. So the fans got pissed off and started throwing snowballs at him. Every time he'd pull his beard down, they would pelt him with a snowball.
Oh, yeah. Well deserved. Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean. A lot of people, the Eagles fans threw snowballs at Santa Claus. Well deserved.
Yep.
I should have got snowballs thrown at him.
Yep. For being a dick. Probably like
That's just the real story, but you only get the ESPN story of them throwing the snowballs at Santa Claus. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The next one is fans. Chicago fans or Philly fans? I mean, I'm going Philly, obviously. There's no way I think Philly fans are the best fans in the world. Now I'm from Philly, so that's you can get the best fans or the worst fans, depending on who you ask. But I think Philly fans are passionate, right? I'd much rather my fandom be Philadelphia than what it is in Miami, than what it is in LA.
Hey.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just telling the truth.
Yeah.
LA fans suck, Mo. You're not a typical LA fan, but they suck. They show up whenever they want. They got a lot of stuff to do in LA. They don't live and die. When the Eagles lose on Sunday, Monday and Tuesday are dark in this city. Like, people are upset. They're mad.
They ain't the case in Chicago. We too used to it. So they ain't the case in Chicago. I think we're more realistic. I will go with the Bulls fans because I think we're have a more realistic.
Bulls? Well, it's all Chicago.
All Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, all Chicago versus all
All Chicago. Yeah.
I'm going Philly, obviously.
I think it's really close, but I would say this. Bulls fans, they kind of came out of nowhere when Michael Jordan showed up. And they disappeared when Michael Jordan disappeared. And then they kind of came back when Derrick Rose came back, and they kind of disappeared again. So I wouldn't say that they're the better fans. What I know about Philly fans is when the Sixers stink, the Eagles struggle, they're still there. They're still engaged. You want to talk about an engaged fan base? I notice. Listen to talk radio in Philadelphia. You want brutal stuff when fans call in, and I think all cities are like that, but Philly's different. I think Philly fans, right or wrong, are probably the most passionate sports fans in all sports.
So Philly is tied at 3 now. And don't placate to me, Mo.
I lived it. I used to live in South Jersey.
I respect it. I'm just saying, because the 7th one is the 7th category. I feel like is, so I listed as the iconic, the colors of the jerseys, the history of the sport. So like it's listed as lineage. Chicago or Philadelphia? Who has the better lineage?
And this is all sports? Just
all sports.
Ooh.
That's tough.
3-3.
It's tough because it is.
That's tough.
You tell me lineage, then I'm going to talk about Gale Sayers.
Walter Payton.
Right?
Walter Payton.
Dick Butkus.
Yeah.
Mike Singletary. Richard Dent.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to tell you about those dudes. Like, wow. And then of course, in basketball, it keeps coming back to that guy.
Michael Jordan.
Hey, is there anything more iconic than number 23? There's not. I don't think Philly can make up for him alone, but But what Philly has, I can go back. I know enough of football history to recognize the greatness of a guy that played two ways. Chuck McNary, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Concrete Charlie.
Yes, Chuck McNary, Reggie White. I watched the game live in the playoffs when Wilbert Montgomery ate the Cowboys up to take the Eagles to the Super Bowl. I remember Harold Carmichael. I remember all that. Randall Cunningham.
Yep.
What he like? Come on, man. One of my favorite Eagles players, Wes Hopkins. I love Wes Hopkins.
But don't forget ECW, birth of Philadelphia.
Yes,
Yes.
ECW.
Yes.
ECW.
Yes.
ECW.
Yeah. I actually
I mean,
went to more than a few of those events. Yes.
How many superstars and superstar tag teams came out of ECW? Ooh,
Ooh, a lot. A lot.
a lot.
I think it's really close, but it's interesting that you frame it tradition, and in that sense, to me, I think Chicago has an edge.
Okay. Chicago wins 4-3. We'll do it with another city on another day. I do have one last fun topic, and I'm going to give you guys all the favorites to win the division. What I'm asking you to do is I want you to give me two teams that are favored that you do not think that will win the division. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So the Colts, the Ravens, the Broncos, and the Patriots are the four favorites in the AFC. Are there any that you'd like to switch or any that you think are not going to win the division? I have one.
I think the Colts are going to win their division. The one that is my biggest concern would be the Ravens, but again, the Ravens are like they're walking down the Steelers, so they're coming from behind. Like their margin for error is slim, but I still think they're going to win the division. What was the other team? I know the
Patriots,
Broncos.
It's weird to say this, but I think the Broncos might come back to the pack. They might come back to the pack. I have more faith in the Patriots than the Broncos. And I know the Bills are right there, but I'm feeling them Patriots.
I need at least one team that you're switching.
If I'm going to switch somebody, I'm going to switch the Broncos. I don't trust their offense.
Will, give me one.
Broncos.
I will switch the New England Patriots with the Buffalo Bills.
That's
a
fair.
lot of people will think that division.
That's fair.
A lot of people think that division's won. The Bills and the Patriots play each other another game, and the Patriots are one game up on the Bills.
Yep.
Is it crazy to think that the Bills can beat the Patriots? I don't think so.
No.
I'll go with the Buffalo Bills.
That's not crazy at all.
In the NFC, favorites to win the division at minus 10,000, the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that division's over.
I'm not switching that one. That was the easiest one for me.
That was the easiest one.
With all their problems, we can talk about the offense and what it doesn't do and this and that.
AJ. Yep.
All I know is that defense is dominant and they win. With all their problems, they win. Heaven help the rest of the league if the offense catches up to the defense.
Question for me. We'll talk about that later, David.
The Rams at minus 225, the Bucks at minus 800, and the Lions at plus 135, just a hair ahead of the Packers at plus 140. And guys, I don't mean to tell you this, but the Bears are in first place in that division. They're at plus 350. So what teams, I need at least one that is not going to win the division.
You said the Lions were a favorite?
Lions are favored.
I'm switching that. After this week, I'm switching that.
And you said the Rams, right?
Rams.
I'm switching that. I'm switching that. I'm switching that.
I'm going to leave the Lions in place. I am switching out the Rams. As much as I like the Rams, I think Seattle's going to take that division.
Bro, I watched that football game Sunday, and I don't think I remember a game where I was so clear that the one team was better than the other team, and that team lost.
Yeah, facts.
Looked way better in that game.
Yeah.
If Darnold doesn't throw 4 interceptions, they win that game.
Yep.
You show me a team, even the Eagles didn't lock down Stafford in that offense the way Seattle did. Stafford threw for like $130. He didn't do anything.
They didn't do nothing.
They were all over him. No, they shut down every avenue.
Next game's in Seattle, so
yeah, I got Seattle winning that division.
I'm taking out Detroit. I don't trust them anymore.
They play a prime video game Thursday night versus the Rams on 12/18. Mark that in your calendar.
Oh yeah.
I really feel bad for the Tennessee Titans. They're going to get a very pissed off Seattle Seahawks team this week.
Oh yeah.
But that's all the time we got. We're at 10 o'clock. Thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Will, appreciate you coming in, running the ones and twos. Mo, always great working with you, talking sports. Any final comments, gentlemen?
No, just appreciate chopping it up. Thank you guys in the chat. So much energy. Love the comments. You guys keep us going. Make sure you guys check out all the great content that we have at Wire to Wire Network. We appreciate you.
Will, any final comments?
Thank you for having me this week. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you again on Monday.
All right, take care, y'all. Have a great one.